In this lesson, we are learning three error detection methods: parity checks, checksum, and echo checks. These methods help a computer check whether data may have changed during transmission. They do not usually fix the error by themselves. Their job is to detect that something may be wrong. We will start with parity checks because they are a common exam topic. Why do we need error checks? When data is transmitted from one computer to another, it travels through a communication channel. During this process, a bit may change from 0 to 1 or from 1 to 0. This could happen because of interference, signal problems, or transmission faults. Error checks add extra checking information so the receiver can spot possible mistakes. Parity bit, the basic idea. A parity check uses one extra bit called a parity bit. The parity bit is added to the byte before it is transmitted. The sender and receiver must agree on the type of parity before data is sent. There are two common types. Even parity means the total number of 1 bits should be even. Odd parity means the total number of 1 bits should be odd. Even parity. Now let us use even parity. The data bits are 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. There are already 4 1 bits. 4 is even, so the parity bit is set to 0. The final byte still has an even number of 1 bits. Odd parity. Now use the same data, but this time the system is using odd parity. The data still has 4 1 bits. 4 is not odd, so the parity bit must be set to 1. That gives 5 1 bits in total, which is odd. Detecting a single bit error. Here, even parity has been agreed. The byte being sent has an even number of 1 bits, but the byte received has 1 bit changed. Now the receiver counts only 3 1 bits. 3 is odd, so the receiver knows an error has occurred. Parity checking detects the error, but it does not always tell us which bit changed. Activity. Spot the parity error. Pause the video and try these 3 checks. For each byte, count the number of 1 bits. Then compare your count with the parity being used. If even parity is being used, the total should be even. If odd parity is being used, the total should be odd. Limitation of parity checks. Parity checks are useful, but they have an important limitation. If 2 bits change, the total number of 1 bits may still have the correct parity. That means an error may have happened, but the receiver may not detect it. This is why parity checks are simple error detection, not a perfect protection method. Parity blocks. A parity block uses more than one parity check. The data is arranged in a block. Parity is checked across each row and down each column. This helps the receiver not only detect that an error has occurred, but also identify the position of a single bit error. The incorrect row and incorrect column meet at the changed bit. Checksum. A checksum is another method used to check whether data has changed. The sender runs a calculation on the data and creates a checksum value. The data and the checksum are sent together. The receiver performs the same calculation on the received data. If the new checksum does not match the checksum sent, an error is detected. Echo check. In an echo check, the receiver sends the data back to the sender. The sender compares the echoed data with the original data. If both versions match, the sender assumes the data arrived correctly. If they do not match, an error has occurred and the data can be sent again. Echo checks are easy to understand, but they increase the amount of data being transmitted. Summary. Error detection methods. Let us recap. Parity checks add a parity bit so the receiver can check whether the number of 1 bits is correct. Parity blocks check rows and columns and can locate a single bit error. Checksum sends a calculated value with the data. The receiver recalculates and compares. Echo check sends the data back to the sender so the sender can compare it with the original. For the exam, focus on what each method does and what its limitation is. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more IGCSE Computer Science revision. Visit www.tuitionharbor.com or email hello@tuitionharbor.co.uk. See you in the next video.